I'm Ron Patterson with Utah State University Extension in Carbon County. Today we're going to plant radishes. Radishes are a great vegetable, especially for beginning gardeners. They're easy to get started and they do well. They start early in the spring. They're hardy to the frost, so even if you get them planted a little bit early and it's a little bit cold, they will tolerate that very well. Another nice thing about radishes is that over the season, they've got a short growing season, so you can plant them and you'll have radishes in 4 to 5 weeks. Then you can plant some more a week or two later, and so you can kind of do succession planting like that and have radishes throughout the season. The thing about radishes is when it gets hot in our high desert country here in Utah, about July, mid-July through August, the radishes don't do well. They'll go to seed, the roots will get kind of woody, so you want to have your radishes done by then. You can also plant radishes in the fall and have a good crop. Say if you planted them about mid-August, you would have a good radish crop in the fall, and I've actually found that I have fewer problems planting them that way as far as with some of the insect problems that we have earlier in the spring. Alright, it's very simple to make a furrow. Just use your hoe, the corner of your hoe like that, make yourself a furrow. Try to keep your row straight or the neighbor farmers will be upset at you. Now, spring planting in our high desert country of Utah typically will require us to put some extra water down before we get our seed planted. This year especially has been a dry winter and spring, so the soil is very dry. It's important for us to get some water into our furrows. Now, radish seeds are quite hardy. They'll pop up through just about anything you want to plant them in, so we don't have to worry so much about whether or not the soil is going to crust over. But it's always a good idea if you can get enough water down there to get the seeds to germinate and pop up before you have to water again. Radish seeds should pop up within about 7 to 10 days, and 28 to 35 days later you should have radishes ready to eat. Nice thing about those is you can get a quick result early in the season, feel good about your gardening, have nice fresh radishes from your garden in your salad, or just eat them with a little bit of salt on them, or however you like to eat your radishes. Okay, so we've got our water soaked down. Radishes are a single seed. They don't come up in clusters, but it's always kind of amazing how thickly they seem to pop up once you get them planted. Just kind of scatter those down your row. They're in the bottom of the row there. You cover them with about 1/4 inch of soil, 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. They're a hardy, tough seed. They'll pop up through just about anything. Pat them down so you get good soil contact with the seed, good moist soil seed contact. You can plant radishes in wide rows as well. You can do a wide row and scatter them out like we do a lot of our other leafy vegetables. They tolerate that fairly tight spacing. To make a wide bed, I like to use the back of my rake. Make a bed. I like to keep it about 1 foot wide because that fits with my irrigation system, but that does quite well. You can start radishes in the spring quite early. You can start them mid-March at least and have them start going that way, so you have a crop through a long season with the radishes. A great plant to grow for beginning gardeners. Now, to make your wide bed, just use the back of your rake. A bed like this will be more than a normal family will eat. You do several of these and you keep yourself in radishes for a long time. I'm going to try to make it level so the water will pool. Again, we're going to have to water it down because we've got dry soil, especially this year, but we always have to water our soil and planting our garden. Alright, so what we want is a fairly level bed so we can soak this water in. put half to an inch of water in there, let it soak down. That'll give us pretty good moisture for the seed roots to grow down into. So we'll run a little bit of water in here and let that soak in, and then we'll plant some radish seeds. Alright, the soil is wet, soaked down pretty good. Grab a few radish seeds and we just scatter them over the area. It doesn't take very many. That will provide quite a few radishes. When we're ready to harvest, we'll be ready to go with a small bed of radishes right there. Cover them with about 1/4 inch of soil. Pat it down for good soil contact. In a week or so we should have radishes popping up. There you go, ready to go have some fun in your garden.